Welcome to 303 Hoops, a whole lot more than the box score. For you hoop junkies, number nerds, or just someone who loves basketball, this is for the love of the game. Live from 303, I'm Ryan Hinske.
And I'm Caleb Bunch.
Man, that felt good to say.
That feels good. We are back, people. We took a little hiatus. We both had to enjoy our Christmas breaks together.
Yeah.
But no.
Not together.
Not together. Yeah. Wait a minute. Pause. Run that back.
Yeah.
We both had to enjoy Christmas break.
Away from each other.
Away from each other.
Away from everyone in this building.
Dude, Ryan and I miss each other so much. We're
Yeah.
saying we spent Christmas together.
Yeah.
But we did not. He was back home in South Carolina for some time. I was back home in Pennsylvania for some time. We both did some traveling. But feels good to be back. We're here in Chicago. It's a little chillier than probably what we had over break, but you know, it feels good.
And Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, man.
Happy New Year to you. We've got
Happy
an
New Year to you guys.
action-packed episode.
We do.
But first, we must confess this is a new camera that we're using.
It is.
So we don't know, like, if this looks like crap, sorry, but it might look better.
It might look
and
better.
We got to learn how to use it, so if it doesn't look great right now, it will.
Yeah, we're figuring
So
things
we're not
out.
worried about it.
We're not
but
worried. We're
New
hopefully
camera.
it looks cinematic for you guys. You
Yeah,
know? But
yeah.
no, it feels good. I mean, and I feel like 2026 going to be a big year for us.
It is.
We have a lot to unpack, like you said. A lot of stuff going on in this episode. But what's not changing in the year 2026
It'll never change.
is us giving you Song of the Day. So, Ryan, kick us off with 2026 Song of the Day.
Yeah, I saw a German band cover this song on Instagram, and I think they're called like the Rikas or something. Okay. Shout out. But I just saw it like come up on my reel, and they sang "Last Train to London" by Electric Light Orchestra. It took me back to my days with my Honda Pilot,
Yes.
where I would drive my brother to and from school, and we had one CD that I found in like a thrift store, and it was Electric Light Orchestra Greatest Hits. And this was not on it, but I was still a fan of this song, and it just came back after like 5 years of not listening to it, and I probably listened to it every day over break since I heard the song. And it's a really good song. Electric Light Orchestra, really great. They're on a lot of the Guardians of the Galaxy soundtracks.
Yes.
So if you haven't checked them out and you like 70s, 80s music, go for it.
Yeah, great. Mine's not as niche of a pick. Many people may know this man. He's my GOAT. Jay-Z, Encore, Black Album. That's my favorite album by him. A lot of people have, debates about whether the Blueprint's better, Reasonable Doubt, but I like the Black Album. I love Jay-Z. Kanye was on production for this song, so just amazing track. And, of course, I think, the people want more, so we're going to give them Encore. And transitioning right from that to what we love talking about, hoops. Like, guys,
this is 303 Hoops.
This is 303 Hoops, after all. We had a festive, little theme we wanted to integrate. We didn't get to wish you guys a Merry Christmas, so Merry Christmas if you celebrate. And Ryan and I wanted to give you like 12 days of Christmas / 12 games that we enjoyed over break. So we both had 6 games that we wanted to talk about that we thought were thrillers or something super important was coming out of those games. So Ryan, I see you have 6 games that are really good games. I was able to watch most of these, so the floor is yours.
Okay. I think I'll do my 3 NBA games, and then if you want to do your NBA games, and then college.
Okay,
Because college was
Stacked.
insane.
Stacked.
I
an
want to
amazing
save
season.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So all these games that I have are Christmas Day or after, because it just got. I mean, we just were blessed.
Yes,
With
we were.
basketball during the week between Christmas and New Year's, and then a few days after New Year's as well.
100%.
Cavs and Knicks, Christmas Day.
Great game.
Heartbreaker for me. However, it's always been a tradition with my family to watch the whole slate.
Yeah.
And it
Christmas
really
Day.
started in 2017 with the first Kevin Durant on Warriors Christmas Day game.
Yes.
With the Richard Jefferson posterizer.
Yeah.
Kyrie did it again with
I
the
know.
game-winning shot right after we had won the finals. So
Richard Jefferson dunked on Clay? Was
yes,
that who?
he yammed it on Clay, all over Clay. And it was one of the best games I've ever watched. So, like, Christmas Day is special to me. It was great to see the Cavs play on Christmas Day for the first time since LeBron left.
Yeah.
So we're finally back on Christmas Day games, and we played the Knicks, who are a wonderful team at Madison Square Garden. Wonderful.
The Mecca.
wonderful environment, and it was the noon game, so it was like still like Christmas morning. We were
No, it
chilling
felt
out.
good.
Great game. They had the Disney broadcast with like Donald Duck and stuff.
Yes.
And it was a heartbreaker, but man, what a game.
It was a good game.
Yeah, if you haven't seen the highlights, watch that. It was just good hoops.
Yeah,
Cavs gave up the lead, though.
they did.
76ers at Grizzlies on December 30th. This
Thriller.
was an overtime game.
Thriller.
139-136. The Sixers won on the road. Embiid and Maxey had 34 apiece. Edgecombe, VJ Edgecombe is a star.
Guys, he's here.
He really is already, and he's 20, which makes us feel
Crazy, man.
a little strange.
Yeah, we're older than him, but it's all right.
Yeah.
It's all right.
And then vintage John Morant, best game he had all season.
Yeah, for sure.
40 points in 34 minutes. And then I have the Grizzlies again at Lakers, January 2nd. I was able to catch LeBron James 4 days into being 41 years young. Drop 31, 9 rebounds, 6 assists.
Vintage.
And a 7-point win in LA.
Well, we can't even say vintage because he's been doing this for so long.
Yeah.
But
I
love
just
those
love,
games.
He didn't really do it on Christmas.
Right.
He didn't bring it on Christmas. The Lakers didn't bring it on
No,
Christmas.
they didn't. They lost.
But it was great to see him. My first game that I watched him at 41 years old. My first game that I saw where he was 41. 31-point performance.
Yeah. Crazy game. I like those games you have. So I didn't have as many NBA games as you did. So I'll give you my 2 NBA games. And guys,
Fair enough.
I must admit, this one was a little bit before Christmas season, but if I didn't put this one on here, I would be doing you guys a disservice.
Because we haven't talked about it.
We haven't talked about them. Spurs, Thunder, NBA Cup semifinals. This was the first game that Wemby was back, so he was on the minutes restriction. So everyone was kind of curious about how he would look. Would he be a little rusty with the injury that he's coming off of? But no. The Spurs were able to contain the Thunder with seconds. The second that Wemby was able to check in. It was super clear and apparent. The Thunder were originally getting to the lane super easily. Then you saw Wemby in the paint, and they're like, nah. I think we're going to take some mid-range jumpers, some threes. So I think that had a huge impact over the game, and we saw that in his plus-minus. He had a plus 21 plus-minus in 21 minutes, and I think he was able to put up 22 points in 21 minutes, which is absurd. But you could just tell the magnitude of defensive presence that Wemby brought to the game, and it was crazy to watch and super close game and kind of a rivalry brewing, you know?
Yeah.
They played each other a lot. They played each other 3 times this year, and the Spurs have won all 3 of them. And we originally thought the Thunder were the best team in the league. So,
Right.
you know, is there a conversation to be had now?
And Wemby's trying to make it more.
He hates Chet.
Yeah.
I love it.
And Chet's like, I don't know. Like, he's like, I don't really have any hard feelings.
Yeah.
But Wemby really wants this to be the must-see TV that
and
we
it
haven't
is.
really seen since probably Cavs Warriors.
Yeah. And besides that game, the Spurs have beat the brakes off them the other 2 times.
Yeah.
Like, it's been 20-plus at moments in the game. So
Right.
it's been very fun to watch those 2 teams play and just kind of seeing the chess that both of those coaches are playing. And Johnson's doing an amazing job with that squad this year. So props to him. My second game, kind of an odd game to choose, but there's a specific player I want to highlight. It's Nuggets at Magic. The Magic were able to pull out the W by 1 point over the Nuggets. Jokic had a typical performance. He had a triple-double, 30-plus points, 20-plus rebounds, and 10-plus assists in this game. But he's not the person I want to highlight. Anthony Black for the Magic. He kind of had a weird start to his NBA career, kind of an odd duck. I think with the amount of guards that the Magic team had at one point, it was kind of figuring out what to do with him, what to do with Jalen Suggs, what to do with Cole Anthony. They shipped off Cole Anthony, and so now they're really relying on him, Anthony Black,
Right.
and Jalen Suggs now. And I think Jalen Suggs has been able to flourish, but so has Anthony
he's
Black.
healthy.
Yeah, exactly. He's been in and out of lineups, but super good on the defensive side of the ball. And then Anthony Black, since this game, he's been averaging 25, 6, and 4. So putting up crazy numbers, shooting better from 3. His jump shot looks a lot more fluid this season, especially in this stretch. And so I wanted to highlight this game because he had 38 points this game. So
Wow.
career high for him. So
I didn't catch that one.
yeah, it was a wonderful performance from him. And then just the Magic squad in general. in the beginning of the year we're talking about them. They're kind of like they're sub 500 and looking at like kind of like what are they going to do this year? They're kind of coming into their own this year. They're 20-16 now, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So above 500, I think they're around that 5-6 seed in the East. So they're making some noise, and I think once playoff time comes around and they're really have that chemistry built, they'll be a tough team to beat. So.
And I really want to see Jamal Mosley like being challenged in that. Like he deserves to get to that point where he's competing in 7-game series.
Yeah.
Other than the one they had against the Cavs. That was wonderful.
Exactly.
Yeah. But it was like a defensive, battle.
Yeah.
There's still a defensive team, and they're lengthy, and they're. I really hope that there is a team in this like length era. That like really takes advantage of it. And it kind of has with the Thunder, but they still have some players that like aren't built like that. Like Isaiah Joe comes to mind. But because they have a little bit of everything. Yeah. But the Magic are really that team.
Yeah.
Like Anthony Black is 6'7".
Yeah, he's like 6'6", 6'7".
Out of Arkansas,
like
great player. I loved covering him. He was part of the Wemby draft class.
He was.
And that was the draft class that I covered very extensively, and I loved covering him. So I'm glad that he had his coming out party, like you said. Okay.
Talk about your college games.
Yes. They were all on January 3rd. I was sitting on my couch. I worked the Bulls game that night, so I was chilling all morning long. And there were early afternoon games, a lot of Big East, which is obviously, I come from DePaul University, so the Big East is very important to me. I think it's the best conference in basketball. Every game is competitive. You never know what's going to happen. Providence was at St. John's, at Madison Square Garden, not in Queens. They were at MSG. On January 3rd. And Zuby Ejiofor dropped 33, 15 rebounds, 3 blocks. Unfortunately, the three starting guards for St. John's combined for 5 for 30 from the field.
They've been having a rough year.
They have. And St. John's fell to Providence by 6 points, 77 to St. John's put up 71 points.
Yeah.
And remember, Ejiofor dropped 33.
33 of them.
So that was I didn't want to. I'm not doing this to say that you were wrong about your pick, your Big East champion pick. But I really feel like UConn is just heads above.
Way above everyone.
When it comes to the guards alone. Like, I know Bryce Hopkins is there with Ejiofor. That is a crazy combo. And when they acquired Hopkins in the portal, I was like, it might be over for the Big East.
Yeah.
But looking at the offseason, it just like, it didn't really materialize for me. And this was just the culmination of that. And Providence looking pretty good as well. And then Xavier at DePaul. January 3rd, my first ever witnessing of a DePaul win in person was against Xavier at home. They were number 8 in the country. Xavier was number 8, and they were upset by the lowly DePaul Blue Demons. And they had like a crowd surf after the game. It was crazy. Yeah. I'm in some of the photos. Like, oh my God, we actually beat a good team.
We won.
So we beat Xavier again. Remember, 2023 through 2025, those 2 seasons, DePaul won 2 of 20 home conference games. Chris Holtmann really looks like he has figured it out with his roster. He has a roster that he wants. CJ Gunn, Indiana transfer, looking really good. Yeah. Like a legitimate Big East high volume, great scorer. And then they have a lot of good transfers. They have this guy, Brandon Macklin from Radford. I'm like, where did Holtmann even find this guy? They're playing the way that he wants them to play, and it was just a great win over Xavier and their new head coach, Richard Pitino.
Yes.
And it was a 10-point win, 11-point win. And then Kentucky at number 14, Alabama, January 3rd, again.
Roll Tide.
It was a 15-point win for the Tide, and it wasn't close. It felt close, but it wasn't. But it felt close at times. Like, even in the late second half.
It felt competitive, where it was like, oh, is the momentum about to shift Kentucky's way?
Right.
But
Arkansas or Alabama played this game so well.
Yeah, they did.
It was just great basketball through a budding star, Aiden Holloway. 21 points on 8 of 16 shooting, 6 for 8 from 3, 5 assists. He suddenly springs onto my NBA draft board into potential lottery territory.
Yeah.
Might be a little undersized, but I'm going to keep watching him. He's
crafty.
The player from Alabama that I'm now like, oh, Aiden Holloway. Yeah. I'm not forgetting that name.
Their guard play has ridiculous.
Yeah.
They had 3 guards on that team,
Right.
like LeBaron Philon, Aiden Holloway, and Jaleel Bethia, who all can
shoot.
get a bucket at
Yeah.
any moment. All can shoot.
3-level scorers.
Yeah, and the way Alabama plays likens to having guards like that, right? Like, they play high-octane offense, super fast. Like, we're just trying to get up and down the floor, score as quickly as possible, and it's worked for Nate Oates. He's built a squad over there.
Played fast for a while. Like, Nate Oates has been there and speeding up that offense for a long time. And I feel like now they've reached the point where guards are like, I want to go to
Alabama. No, for sure.
If I'm being recruited by them and then a bunch of other SEC schools and Big East and Big Ten, they are now at the point where that looks like a fun offense to play for.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to get buckets. I'm going to have teammates that want to play the same way I want to play.
Right.
And it's going to be a lot of fun.
No, that's fun, yeah. And I could imagine, like, Bethia, he was originally at Miami. He transferred there, so I think that proves your point even more. So, yeah. I had a couple games in college that I thought were interesting, too. Speaking of good guard play, Houston, Arkansas, this was December 20th. Houston pulled out the victory as a neutral site. This is in Jersey. So DJ Wagner, who's on the Arkansas Rossi, is originally from Jersey, so kind of a going home party for him. But Houston spoiled that for them. They were able to pull out the victory. But Darius Acuff, we were talking a little bit behind the scenes about him. He's my PG1 in this draft. He has looked ridiculous against any team he's played, whether it's ranked competition or not ranked. He's looked like the best guard all season. In this game, he was able to drop 27, 7, and 5. But another player I do want to highlight is the guard for Houston, Kingston Flemings. Houston usually doesn't really get these highly recruited players, especially with Kelvin Sampson at the helm. He likes having, veterans, 4-year players, but he has a one and done right here in Kingston Flemings. He's been playing well all season. Shoots the 3 ball really well. He was able to defend well in this game as well. So that's the guy I wanted to highlight on the Houston squad. But we know that Houston team is good. They have returners in Uzan and Sharp as well. So they had veterans coming back that they wanted to have at their guard helm. And so Kingston Flemings adding to that. Really special player. Another college game I wanted to highlight, Duke, Texas Tech. Unfortunately, my Blue Devils lost in MSG. And we were up 16 at one point to the Texas Tech Raiders and ended up losing by 1. But it was a fun game to watch. I have to admit, Christian Anderson played really well in this game. But it was kind of back and forth all year. Not all year, all game. And I thought the Duke Blue Devils were able to pull it out, but they were not. And then Cam Boozer took the last shot, did not make it. So Texas Tech was able to pull that one out. And then my other game I want to highlight, Michigan State at Nebraska. The Cornhuskers, Ryan, are undefeated this year.
Yep.
Fred Hoiberg.
Shouldn't be after last night.
That's
where
true.
They barely beat Ohio State, who's a tournament team in their own right. But yeah,
Fred Hoiberg, he's doing a wonderful job with that squad. Hey, man, if you want to come back to Chicago, But they're doing well. They were able to beat the Michigan State Spartans. And then the reason I wanted to highlight this game was, the little antics after the game. Brandon Frager, or Frager, however you say his last name, had an Instagram post. He said, "Fear none." And, it looked like he was, we don't condone violence on this podcast, but, he looked like he was shooting something at, Jeremy Fears, who has been actually shot before. So it was interesting. Not a great look on Frager's part, but interesting, to add to that fuel to the fire for the rest of the season for the Spartans, see how they respond, right? Because they just blew out the USC Trojans yesterday.
Yeah, they did.
So maybe they saw that.
It was over in the first 8 minutes.
Yeah, not even competitive.
I turned that off quick.
So maybe they saw that post from Frager and responded accordingly. But Cornhuskers have looked good. Fear the Corn. That stadium is always rocking in the Midwest, so good to see them doing well. And then finally, Kansas at UCF. The reason why I wanted to highlight this game, 2 ranked opponents. UCF was able to pull out the victory, actually. Kind of surprising, right? But I wanted to highlight Peterson. We talked about him all year. We talked about him as potentially number 1 pick. He's kind of been having injury battles this whole season, whether it's been cramping, ankle injuries, calf stuff. He was able to score 20 in the first half here, and he was on a minutes restriction, so he didn't play much in the second half. And I think he ended with around 25 points. But in this game, he was able to score 20+, and it was easy, light work for him. Like, he was getting to his spots, very fluid, and I was looking at it, I was like, that looks like a number 1 pick when looking at that. And it's going to be interesting to see how teams evaluate him because his availability has been kind of shoddy this season. But it's clear that he's able to score the ball at will, and he's NBA ready already. So those are our 12 games, though. So
all I know, also, just to your point,
Yeah.
Acuff, I know yesterday received the Naismith Player of the Week.
Yeah.
And his 4th straight SEC Freshman of the Week.
Yeah.
So he's
crazy.
playing out of his mind. But I just wanted to add that Saturdays in college basketball, take some time off Saturday afternoon.
Yeah.
If you're watching this, I don't know what's going on. There's some juju around, or just like there's like 30 NBA ready players in college basketball
Yeah.
right now, like something like that.
It's ridiculous.
It's just maybe better to watch college basketball now than ever before. That's all I'm going to say.
Take
what
some
do I
time to
know?
watch college sports in general.
Yeah.
But college basketball this year, that draft class, loaded.
Yeah. I can't wait till we get to draft, like the end of the NBA season, and there's NBA playoffs, and March Madness will be over. Like, can't wait for that.
Right.
I'm not like, let's skip over that. But NBA draft analysis
It's
is gonna
awesome.
go crazy this year.
And I think usually I'm a big proponent for take best available, right? Like usually fit figures itself out down the road. But this year I think it legitimately might be fit.
Yeah.
Because I think when evaluating a lot of these players, you're going to be not necessarily concerned about talent or upside because a lot of them have shown that.
A lot
but
of
it's
them
more
would be the first overall pick 10 years ago.
Exactly. So I was looking at who do we think will fit best in our system,
Right.
which, depending on the team, could be obviously so many guards that are good this
Yeah.
year, and then a lot of bigs are good as well. So
And that'll be more fun than doing best available.
Right.
Because it's like, here's why they
Exactly.
work with this roster.
and we can actually like think about it and like
Yeah.
contemplate. So,
Exactly.
yeah. But speaking of draft, there's an NBA team we want to highlight that we haven't talked about much. We talked about them way back when we were talking about standings. Ryan had them high. I didn't believe him. I should have believed them.
I had them at 4, though, and they're
Above
pushing 1
4.
right now.
They're above 4.
Yeah.
That team is the San Antonio Spurs, people. They have looked incredible since Wemby has returned. Like, they have
And
looked...
coming off the bench, we should say.
Yeah, and
Wemby's
on
not even
minutes.
a starter.
Like
what?
he's on the minutes restrictions.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. So they have looked amazing. They beat the Thunder 3 times, like we've talked about, who we had as the best team potentially ever at one point in time.
We did talk about that.
We got to run that take back.
Yeah, I must confess,
I
they
must
lost to the
confess.
Hornets by 20 last night.
Exactly. But
Granted, a little
yeah.
injured, but it's been disappointing.
Yeah, it's been disappointing. But the Spurs, they have been ridiculous. Whether that's been their lead guards, looking at De'Aaron Fox, Stephon Castle, Dylan Harper coming off the bench, or their bigs. Even Cornette has been stepping up for them. Wemby has been playing well. Harrison Barnes is a good veteran presence. Vassell has been knocking down threes for them and playing decent defense.
Julian Champagny
Champagny has been knocking down threes
is like
for them.
is whenever he's in the game, their net rating just spikes.
Skyrockets. So that team has been fun to watch, I must admit. Like, usually I am not a fan of Spurs basketball traditionally in the sense of like ball movement, getting all the players involved. But this year I've been loving it. I have to admit. But do you have any thoughts on what you've seen out of San Antonio this year? Like their coaching, any players particularly you want to highlight?
I didn't know you were a Spurs hater like that. Like old Spurs.
I just
you
like
didn't
those
the
Manu
old Spurs?
teams were like, Boris Diaw,
But they just kept winning.
They did keep winning. And they were
That's
good.
winning basketball.
That's winning basketball.
Yeah, like LaMarcus Aldridge, man.
Yeah,
like,
dude,
come on.
shout out.
Where'd he go? Yeah, so for me, the Spurs, like, when I watch the Spurs, it kind of seems like they might be the deepest team in the NBA.
Yeah.
And I went into a lot of advanced lineup statistics, and I'm going to talk about De'Aaron Fox a little bit, but I want to hear what you have to say first about this team.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like Luke Cornette, like,
I know.
What?
I know.
With or without you stats. Like, I'm just playing around with or without you stats. And almost every single play, I'm like, how does that even work? With or without you, like, they're better on the court than without, but then, like, every player
And it works for every player. So
Like,
how is
what?
it possible that
Yeah.
they're better with you, but
Right.
still, like, I get what you're saying. I
Right,
get
and
what
it's
you're
like even limited minutes, like Keldon Johnson is like boosting.
saying. Yeah, I didn't even mention Keldon.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I mean they are so talented throughout. And I mentioned Julian Champagny, but really, I mean, when he's on the court, the team is much better.
Yeah.
Great two-way player, always makes the three. Just a really, really nice, solid contributor. Harrison Barnes, epitome of solid contributor.
That's their vet.
And is just, the vet that like makes the team better. And I'm going to argue in a minute that De'Aaron Fox makes the team better. But I think they can beat any team in the NBA. I thought that at the beginning, but I didn't really think they were completely there yet. Or like, I didn't think they'd make it past a 7-game series against one of the top teams in the conference. But
they're
so good.
They can compete with anybody.
Yeah.
When Wemby's on the floor, I think it's fair to say, based off what we've seen, they're the best team in the league.
And so well coached.
Yeah.
Great spacing, great play calling. They do a little bit of everything. I mean, it's so impressive.
And they allowed their guards to play, which is super important. Harper at the beginning of the year was having a little bit of struggles just with finding his pacing and figuring out where do I fit in this lineup specifically?
Yeah.
But now he's taken off. Like, it is impossible to keep him out of the lane. Like, his ability to decelerate, create space for himself, and then, whether it's hesitation moves, like Euros, like, he's been able to just find ways to score in the lane super easy, which has opened up the floor for their shooters, Champagny and Vassell. And then also when they have to deal with Stephon Castle as their other guard and De'Aaron Fox. Just creates problems for a lot of teams.
It kind of makes me sad that Scoot Henderson wasn't drafted to a team like the current Spurs, because he could have been exactly like that.
Yeah.
But he had too large of a usage early on, and then he had injuries as well. But Dylan Harper fits in perfectly as like what Colin Sexton does in Charlotte. He's like the spark plug, comes in, twitchy, fast, can move so well, and like also defend
And he's not a small guard either.
Cover a lot of
helps.
space. Exactly. So like he's quick but also large.
Yeah.
A large guard. So he covers so much space. And that just really helps when you're getting to the later points in that game. Maybe early fourth quarter, you sub him out.
Yeah.
Like with 10 minutes left in the fourth.
Exactly.
And your players feel more rested than they would otherwise because he is taking up a lot of that mileage that other players
and he's young
would need. Exactly.
Obviously.
Yeah. Great contributor to this team. Great draft pick for sure. De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah. Let's talk about him.
Listen. I went through last night. I was watching I was like, well, there's nothing good on because USC is not the team that my good friend Tripp said that they are, who goes to USC. Shout out Tripp. Love you, bro. But so I was like, well, I'm not watching that. Let me look at some stats. So I went to Data Baller, which is a great website. And I was looking at their lineups, and I was looking at what their net rating is with lineups with Fox, lineups without Fox, lineups with Fox and Cornette versus lineups with Fox and Wemby.
Right.
And the most used lineup is Vassell, Champagny, Wemby, Castle, and Barnes. Did we even mention Vassell, Devin Vassell?
Yeah, I mentioned him a little bit, but
great player.
Great player, contributing well, knocks down
Lengthy.
the open three, and decent defender too. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
So that lineup has 121 minutes played. That's the most. 16.3 net in the plus, which would be very top of the league. With Fox in for Champagny, it's plus 6.2. So a little bit definitely less. This is 75 minutes played, so a little smaller sample size, but still pretty high sample size. Like once you get past 50 minutes, it's like okay. Now without Fox, turnover percentage rises 3%. He's been on for 802 minutes, off for 770. So I wanted to look at with or without you.
Those comparisons.
Yeah, and on 116 defensive rating, which would be 19th in the NBA. Off, they would be 7th in the NBA at 112. And when he's on, plus 6.4 net, off 6.8. So a little bit small differences except defensive rating. But when you look at Fox next to Castle, who would be one of those guys that is running the offense without De'Aaron Fox, if they were to trade him. Castle looks like a better passer and rebounder, but everything else, especially the shooting, Fox just has down.
Yeah.
And my case for the Spurs keeping De'Aaron Fox is I don't want to have a short memory here. The Spurs are deep. By the way, Fox is only 27, 28.
It's crazy.
They're effective, and they have several proficient lineups that they feature on a nightly basis. I don't see the trade value here.
I don't either.
I don't see a team that's a great suitor that could give them a lot back. And the Spurs could legitimately win the NBA Finals this season.
Like that's not outside the realm of possibility at all. And I think what's interesting, right, is people are so. I know the conversation originally was Giannis, right? Like, could we get Giannis and Wemby together? But it's like, why blow this up? Like, you have a lot of team chemistry going for you. You've seen the results that you can get against the best competition in the league when Wemby plays. And then it's also like, we don't have to worry about giving away any of our, like, good guards because they're young, right?
Yeah.
Like, we have them on contracts that are very favorable to us. And then if we have Dylan Harper coming off the bench, okay.
Yeah.
Like, that's a good issue to have. Like, him as a sixth man is perfect. Like you said, spark and plug.
Right.
So
we always talk about veteran leadership. Like, it was great that Chris Paul was on the Spurs. He probably taught a lot of those young players a lot of good stuff. De'Aaron Fox won the first ever clutch player of the year.
When he was in Sacramento, right?
2 years ago.
Yeah.
It's 2 years ago. He won clutch player of the year in Sacramento when they were the first light the beam season.
Yeah.
And they would always find a way to be down 4 with 3 minutes left that season, 2022-23, when they lost to the Warriors in the first round of the playoffs. He was so good in those late game situations. If you take Fox out of that equation, who's the oldest player taking those shots?
I know.
A 22-year-old, 21-year-old. Right?
Or Harrison Barnes.
Yeah. But maybe Harrison Barnes.
Yeah.
But like, give me a shot creator, take a step back, another dribble inside. He knows what he's doing. He's still got that speed and that experience in the clutch. And when they're playing the Thunder in a 7-game series,
that's important.
I need that kind of player.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah.
And if I'm trading all these assets to get Giannis, who also would do that for you, well, I'm giving up a lot of assets for an older player.
Depth we've talked about.
Right. And
gone.
a player that's injured a lot.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that.
So
I say keep Fox. I don't know why they would move on from him. Trae Young, it's obvious. They need to move on from Trae Young in Atlanta. But De'Aaron Fox, keep him in there.
Keep him in there.
Keep him in San Antonio.
Like, they've been playing well with him.
Yeah.
So super important to keep that chemistry and camaraderie. So I'm excited to see what the Spurs will do for the rest of the season with that lineup. But yeah, so that's interesting. But last order of business we have to tell you guys really quickly. So pre-break, we talked about coming with some new updates to the 303 network in general. So we just want to tell you guys that that's coming to fruition. As you will see after this video has been uploaded, we're called the 303 now, the whole network.
You're like, what is this channel?
Yeah, we're still keeping our podcast, obviously, so you'll still hear us. But there'll be new contributors. We're excited to show you the talent that we have. I think there's about 25 people that you'll be hearing from, whether that's through podcasts on YouTube, the website that we'll have uploaded, and the Substack that we'll have, and then also social media platforms. So keep up with us, follow us on this journey. We're excited to bring you new content and make it better than ever. So every week you can tune in here. This has been 303 Hoops. Until next time.